Step into the paranormal with Ernie Atwell and David Seiler, brought to you by Paranormal Inc., right here on WLFE DB Radio.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to episode 25 of Step Into the Paranormal, where Dave is confused and Ernie has the control.
Just like normal, right?
So apparently we have a special guest tonight that I have no clue of. So he's refusing to tell me. So that's why I haven't broadcast the episode. I don't know I'm clueless.
Well, first off, before we get started, we're coming up on a pretty good time for Dave and I. As of next month, will be 3 years that Paranormal Inc. solo project has been together. But tonight is our 1 year anniversary of our radio podcast. And it coincided with episode 25. I mean, we didn't plan that. So, I did a lot of contemplating, thinking back about Dave, about everything we've been through and what it took to get here and everybody involved and my mind has just, how my mind goes. My mind never stops. Yeah, it's going a million different directions.
Yeah, that's what that was.
But,
Señor el loco en la cabeza.
I wanted to line up a very special guest.
All right.
Okay. For a very special episode, for a very special point in time for Paranormal Inc.
Nice.
So, you ready for me to give special guest a call here?
Will the mystery guest please sign in?
Tonight's show, okay, is going to be all about, and I couldn't come up with a better special guest. And I want you all, if you want to speak to him, call me, message me, or whatever.
Yep, we got you on live chat. I'm watching in the watch party. I'm watching on all the channels. Just let us know.
So, tonight's very special guest on Step Into the Paranormal is none other than Mr. David Seiler. It's all about you tonight, man. So everybody at home, clap. Give Dave a round of applause. I wanted to make tonight special for you, Dave.
Okay.
So tonight's all about David. And on that note, thank you for tuning in. See you in 2 weeks, and I'll give you a call tomorrow. Nah, man. I mean, all joking aside, I mean, you know what we've been through over the years, and I don't want to use the term, in the past 3 years that PI's been together. I don't like to say popularity, but look at the family we've gained, and that didn't happen. That didn't happen until we started Paranormal Inc. I mean, seriously, think about it. Think about the journey we've been on. You know what I mean? And this is just the beginning.
Yeah, we're having fun. Love it. We got everybody kind of paying attention to what's going on. Got people involved in the paranormal and really loving it.
It's always every time the phone rings or the phone beeps, I don't know what to expect. You get where I'm coming from.
Very much so.
But before we get too deep into anything, I want to wish a very special happy birthday to James Anito.
My brother.
And I'm going to put it out there. He turns a big 3-0 today.
Oh, he's getting old.
Oh, my God. We're old enough to be his father. You know what I mean?
Oh, somebody's digging you.
Yeah, and there we go already.
So, otherwise...
That's Miss Lora Sharey from Your Ghost Tour. She said, can you send me my post?
What post?
What post, Laura?
Laura, you watching the show? Give him a call. Clueless. So, anyway, so what do we got coming up?
Well, let's see. On June 20th, we will be with our besties, Keystone State Paranormal, at the Lookout House. There will be an event there, another collaboration between Keystone State Paranormal Inc. and the great folks from Gettysburg Ghost Exchange and Lookout House, Pam and Steve. Everyone knows who Pam and Steve is.
Yep.
So if you're interested in attending the investigation, contact Pam, Steve, Eric, anybody from the
DGE?
Yeah, anybody from there.
That's going to be a blast.
And then actually on June 24th.
Did you mention who was going to be there?
Oh, forgive me.
See?
Oh my God, I'm
You're getting old.
I'm gonna get yelled at tonight. We're also gonna.
Hi, Miss Lori.
Lori Johnson.
See, I remember.
I am so. Oh my goodness, forgive me, man. See what I said, Lori? My mind's going a million miles an hour. Miss Lori Johnson will be doing her psychic medium thing there. Okay, so when you check the information for tickets or whatever, be sure to check the times.
Yes.
Because she always kicks off her thing, a lot earlier before we get there.
And she does an awesome work.
But on June 24th, we will be on Steve, Pam, and Eric Julian's new podcast called The Paranormal Connection.
Yep, right here on WLFE DB Radio.
Is that where it is?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
How did I not know that?
Because he doesn't pay attention to the technical stuff. I do.
Then, July 24, 25, and 26... there's a little event coming up.
Yeah, just a
might have heard
tiny
about
event.
it.
Yeah, there's a person or two going to show
It's
up.
the 2020 Gettysburg Battlefield Bash at the Gettysburg Wyndham.
Yep, in support of
the wounded warriors and children with terminal illness.
Yes, they do an amazing
event.
job.
There's so many people that's been writing in and contacting us like, oh, this is going to be my first year and all this and that. And you will not be disappointed, man. I'm telling you. It's going to be a good time.
Yep, we're going to have some fun there, as we always do.
Right.
Yep, we're going to bring that in the house.
So, Dave, since this is all about you, my brother, give me some thoughts. Anything.
Well, this coronavirus thing has completely driven us mad. The looting and rioting, I've had many a conversation on. That's a crock. So we don't get political here. I will say I'm in support of the people who are protesting. But there's no reason to kick a window in, kick a door in, and kill somebody else because you're upset.
Right.
So that's my serious side. I'm done with serious side. You guys know me. I don't stay serious for long. Why are you looking under there? Yes, I'm wearing pants tonight.
I was making sure my shoes were there.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
You know, it's flip-flop season, so. I'll never forget with the first year we were at the Bash. It's when
Michelle Demio, that's my B-Day, and I wish I could make it, but oh no, Michelle, you got to make it.
What?
It's apparently the Bash is her.
No, the Lookout House is her
House?
birthday.
Okay. Sorry, I'm a little slow to watch the comments tonight. I'm watching them,
but
mostly.
I remember the first year we were at the Bash, and I believe it was the last day, and we may have been wrapping up or whatever, and Dave Haney was talking to us, and we were organizing the first event at the Gettysburg Trails, remember?
I remember that.
And Dave looks at me and he goes, man, you might want to wear shoes there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
the snakes and the...
dude, you know I almost didn't make it that night because of the snakes.
Oh, I know.
Because you know... Snakes
he goes Indiana Jones when it comes to snakes.
Snakes is right up there with flying and being on cruise ships. So it was bad. It was very... I don't know... I don't even want to talk about it.
Yep.
It was pretty bad that night.
Sort of like me when I hear scary noises.
Yeah, it's sort of like Dave when he's ghost hunting, you know, like so what do you think, man? I mean, all seriousness, we're coming up on 3 years together doing this thing. So what are your thoughts on it, man?
I'm loving it. And then let's go back to Michelle. She's going to be at the Bash. Awesome. She's got a room. That is very awesome. I'm going to get there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, into Sunday, and I will have my daughter with Grace. Yeah, she loves it.
We'll be arriving Thursday night. You're coming on Thursday.
I'm coming on Thursday.
Also, this year I get some help setting up. Because last year I got there on Thursday, and you and Mike King didn't get there till like Friday.
I'm giving him the feather.
Friday afternoon.
I'm giving him the feather because I'm not going to give him the whole bird.
Right. But banners were up and merchandise was out. All Dave had to do was sit his equipment on the table. Let's see.
Nah, it's all good. Yeah, so I'm getting there Thursday night. We can get set up. That's not a problem. And then I know that there's a lot of, investigations that go on around. Let's see. I went with Cindy last year over to the bridge.
Okay.
Yep. So that was a blast.
She didn't throw you off?
No, actually, we saw some really cool stuff sitting on the bridge.
You know what I did?
What was that?
I was tired. But after the bash, and you have like we had the after party. After all the guests go home or whatever, we had like the after party and all that. But everybody teamed up and went out investigating, and I had a bag of Cheetos and went up to my room and watched Family Guy. I was too tired, man. I'm like, because we were just coming off.
Goes a couple 100 miles to eat a bag of Cheetos and watch Family Guy.
But we were just coming off of. I just got back from Jersey. We just had a lot of investigations. We concluded. I'm like, man, this trip's about having fun and relaxing, and
right.
that was it, man. Everybody was calling, and I was like, I'll see you all in the morning, man.
Yep.
So
what else we got on tap coming up?
We got to reschedule. I was talking yesterday. I camped is it the Reliance, the bar in York?
Yep.
We have to reschedule that. We have to reschedule.
Columbia, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, the Sam Miller Mansion.
Yeah, we definitely got to reschedule that one because that one.
And then there's a couple Paracons that we're involved in. I'm waiting for
confirmation on those.
Yeah, confirmation dates. So it's just this thing kind of put everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, this is Laura calling.
Hi, Miss Laura.
Laura.
Almost live. It's the God. Oh wait, no, it's Step into the Paranormal. Hey, Miss Laura.
Oh, wait a minute.
Wait. Did you hang up on her?
I did. Surprise.
Someone technically challenged. Oops.
There we go.
Put on speaker.
I meant to hit speaker. And
Hey, I didn't want to interrupt you guys.
Hey, what's this button do? He hit the wrong button.
I went to hit the speaker and I disconnected you.
That's okay. Since the show is all about Dave,
Right.
I wanted him to retell one of my favorite experiences and stories about Dave.
Oh,
And
Lordy.
he knows what story I'm going to talk about, don't you, Dave?
There's one of two that I can figure out. The one where I almost broke Bernie's nose.
That's one of my favorite stories. You have to tell that story.
Oh, my God. Okay. So Miss Laura, when she was still over at the wonderful Haldeman Mansion, had set up a thing where basically radio show contestants won a prize. There were total 4 contestants. They could each bring one of their family members or a friend with them.
Disconnected.
And my Bluetooth just disconnected, which is really great. So I'll reconnect that in a sec, but we don't need that. So basically what happened was in the process, we have all the contestants, all their friends, the producers, some DJs, things like that. And we're going through. Now, Haldeman...
Well, tell them what we were doing.
We were doing a full-blown investigation of Haldeman Mansion.
Waiting for Bluetooth connecting.
My Bluetooth is trying to reconnect. I apologize. So, in the process, we were actually upstairs in the that's the changing room, right? So you go up the steps, you take a right, and that was the playroom, and then the next room through is the changing room? Or do I got it backwards? Okay.
Yep, you're right.
So, all right. So, and to my left was Mr. and Mrs. Haldeman's bedroom. Behind me was the playroom, and behind that was the steps. So I have one of the contestants. Her name is Christina. Ended up becoming one of our really fast friends. Love her to death. And her friend. Ernie's in front of me. And then there's equipment in between Ernie and I. So all around us is the contestants. To our right is the producers and DJs. And to the left... So we're standing there. Now, I'm in the doorway and with the playroom behind me. And somewhere along the line, I hear... Well, I turn my flashlight on, turn around, nothing there. So I put my flashlight back. Now, Christina latches onto my arm at this point. So a couple seconds later, I hear what sounded like pebbles dropping on the floor behind me. Turn on my flashlight. Nothing there. And I'm like, what is going on? So I put it back. At this point, Ernie looks at me and says, Dave, what's going on? I'm like, something's going on behind me. So then I hear footsteps coming up on me, behind me. Turn my flashlight around. I thought maybe Laura came in the house. All I'm looking like, nobody there. So turn back around, and this happened like 4 or 5 times. Just different sounds directly behind me. And I'm like, Ernie, something's going on right behind me, dude. And he's like, I don't know. So the 5th time or so, I turned around and I went, what the hell's going on? Now, I turn the flashlight out, and just as I'm holstering it, I'm turning, and Christina grabs hold of my arm. Now, mind you, the Haunted Mansion is made of plaster. And if you guys have ever seen plaster, there's slats, boards as walls, and then plaster on top of that, and then a big wall of, like, full plaster on top of that. So these walls are solid. If you hit them, they're not moving. I'm in the doorway, and to my right, all you hear is, boom! And it sounded like a linebacker hitting this wall. The whole house shook. Now, everybody's fight or flight reaction, we all went to the 11 o'clock position of where I'm at. We all went away from the wall. Of course, Ernie stood there protecting the equipment. Of course, the problem is, his head goes down. My head's already down. And just as I go to him, I hit him like a linebacker. My forehead went right into his beak. And I went up when I did it. And I'm like, my thought is, Ernie, why aren't you moving? His thought was protect the equipment. So we're all in this left-hand corner. Ernie's walking around the room. You can see him like, you can see the birds going around for real. And he's like, Dave, I think you want my nose.
I was completely blind.
I thought he was going to black out for real. So we finally, I'm looking at him with make sure I didn't break his nose. He looks all right. His eyes are water. His eyes are red. So we get all the equipment up. We go into the changing room. We set the equipment down. And honestly, we've had more activity in that room that night than I think we've ever had. Mm-hmm. Our equipment just went completely postal in that room. So it was really great to see. So the next day we had an event at the Haunted Trails. So Ernie and I went separately. Usually we travel together, but we went separately on this event. I got there first. I was talking to Dave Haney outside, and Ernie rolls up. And he comes out in these big old Stevie Wonder glasses. I'm like, dude, what's up with the glasses? And he goes, he had 2 black eyes. Got him on both eyes. So the running joke for the rest of the night was, Ernie, what happened? Dave pimp slapped me.
I actually even tried to use a little bit of, because my eyes were actually like really purple under here. It looked like
I bashed
it. Looked like I was up for about 2 weeks doing illegal things, and I couldn't even cover it up, man. It was like I got mugged. I felt like I got mugged. Miss Laura, what is up with you, dear?
Nothing much. Getting ready to plan my first event for your ghost tours.
Awesome.
Back out there. I see everybody's out there ghost hunting already.
Yeah, man. I knew it wasn't. Once they started lifting some of these restrictions, you know what I mean?
Yep, it started out nuts.
I knew it wasn't going to take long.
It didn't take long, so I feel like I'm slacking. So
right before you called in, we were talking about rescheduling it to
the Reliance.
Yep.
I don't know why I keep forgetting that. Yeah, the Reliance. We haven't been there yet. You ain't been there, have you?
No, not yet.
We haven't been there yet.
That's a really good place. Just let me know when you guys want to do it.
Oh, definitely. That and the Princess House. You still have that one open for business?
It's still open, and what's cool about it, it's going to be going under renovation soon. So.
Oh, that's going to kick up activity.
Gonna, stir some stuff.
Oh
up.
yeah.
Yeah, I definitely. Yeah. Princess House, man. I like it there.
If you guys have never been to the Princess House, call York Ghost Tours. Talk to Miss Laura. Get either a private investigation there when she's ready, or public. The place is just amazing. It really is.
It is.
I'm gonna put a link. I don't know if people. York Ghost Tours has a Facebook page, but I'm gonna put a link up. There was a TV show that filmed there, and their show was released. So I'll put the link up so everybody can watch the show.
Definitely put that in. Step into our Paranormal link as well.
Yeah. I will.
Yep.
But I wanted to call in. I don't want to take up all your airtime.
Oh, no, you're welcome to, my dear. You're welcome. Keeps me out of the hot seat.
It was all about Dave, so, I had to call in because I love Dave.
Well, somebody went psychic on me the other day when I called her for her birthday. So I called up Laura on her birthday. All right. I have plans. I had wished her a happy birthday on Facebook, sent her a message, blah, blah, blah. I call her up, and Miss Laura goes...
Do not sing to me.
And I was planning. I literally had it ready to. Oh, okay.
Laura, I was going to send him up to dance to you if we wasn't still quarantined.
Well, there's one thing I can always say about Dave. No matter every time I've seen Dave, he makes me laugh. The guy has been through hell and back, but the guy is always happy. So he's just one of them people you always want to be around.
Well, thank you, Miss Laura. Thank
And
you.
the ghosts love him. The ghosts just absolutely love him. So every time he does an event for me, you guys have great activities.
Yeah,
so.
we do. But I contribute that to the crowds that come too,
Yeah,
man.
it's the energy that comes with
most of the people that come to our events, just the energy levels just so high and so positive, and it is. It's such a good time.
You guys have a great following, a great group of people. So every time you've had an event with me, the group of people have just been unbelievable,
right?
Nice and great energy. So I have to give you guys credit for that.
And trust me, we know that too. I mean, because it's the fun thing is, I mean, we've already left an event and went and had a second event in the same day. But each event we go to, it's almost like the first time we've ever done it.
Yeah.
Because,
it's fun.
As many times as we led groups through the Haldeman and whatever, I mean, we have fun
new.
like it's the first time.
There's something
like we've
new
never
every
been,
time.
Yeah,
I love it.
And it starts with great leadership. So I really wish the best for you guys. I think you need your own show. I'm one of your biggest fans. So I just want you to know that. So,
love you. Love you, Ms.
Well,
Laura.
Laura, I tell you, I got to contribute a lot to you because,
Yeah.
I mean, being on the series, I mean, I appreciate your call and busting Dave's balls. That's what it's all about. But, on a serious note, the issues I was having years ago when I was with the team, and, how many months I talked to you guys and contemplated leaving and trying this solo thing. And you know how it was, man. It was like a roller coaster. And I felt
really bad because I felt like that was that incident that we did up at that compound.
Yep, I know exactly.
I feel like that was the last straw.
Well, I was in Jersey at the time, and I was in communication with Dave.
Yep.
I couldn't make it down there, but the thing is, the point I'm making, when we decided, I remember telling you, Melody, Ray, Dave,
we need
verbatim. I said, look, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring and give this a try. And, it'll either be good or you'll never hear from me again. Mm-hmm. And then that's when Dave... Oh, Laura, I got to tell you this. Dave said, before you make any final decisions, you and I got to meet. And that's when Dave said, hey, look, if you leave, I'll go with you. I'll handle the tech portion because I know how challenged you are when it comes to tech stuff. So what we did was Dave and I had a meeting at my house. And it was the first time Dave was at my house.
And the first time your dog peed on me.
And it was the first time that Dave ever met my dog. So Dave and I are out on the back deck, and the sun's going down, and, I made a pot of coffee, and we're getting ready to, work out the details about Paranormal Inc. Stewie has never done this, but I let him out back so Dave can meet him. He walked up to Dave, cocked his leg, and peed on Dave's leg. Stewie, I don't know. Stewie has never done that.
I mean, it's like, really? Really not?
But you know what that dog means when he pees on you? That means he's marking his territory.
That's exactly what Ernie said. I
was like, you belong to him now. He suckered you in like he did the rest of us.
Yeah, it's like I'm his B. I'm the PG.
But Laura, I tell you, back from the very beginning when we started Paranormal Inc., you was with us all the way, and I mean, we couldn't have got anywhere without the support you gave us and advice that you gave us. And
I still remember the first day I met you. Do you remember that day?
No.
Okay, we were at Haldeman Mansion.
No kidding.
Yeah. First time I'd ever been there. I brought all my friends with me from work.
One person.
No, there was a good 4 people, 5 people. But we were sitting around the table, and you were working with your pendulum, and do you remember something touching the back of my head? And I looked around like, what the hell was that? And then I went back to it, and it touched me again. And I looked back like, I thought one of the guys was messing with me. And you said, did somebody just touch you? And I'm like, absolutely. The first time I've ever had a touch like that. It was just like somebody went like this. Yeah, see, he did it too. I was like, it sends chills on you. And you said it had to have been Miss Haldeman because she didn't understand why my hair was so short. All the men back then was hair long.
Yeah.
But that was and then as I'm sitting there listening to you and hearing the history of the Haldeman, something ran up my leg. I screamed like a girl.
Oh my! Imagine that. Imagine that.
I jumped up from the table I was at, hit the flashlight, and it was her dog sniffing my leg.
It was Ray Ray.
It was Ray Ray just sniffed right up my leg, but when his nose hit my leg, it literally just went like that up my leg. Oh my God, the noise I could... Only dogs could hear. It was just like, I jumped back, like, ah! And all the guys, which made it for a great evening.
Right.
And then...
He was going to pee on you, too.
I was, yeah, oh Lord. And then later on that evening, we were outside, and as you're looking at the summer kitchen straight ahead from the main mansion, to my right, I hear this giggling. Now, Ernie's inside, and I'm like, what was that? And all the guys are hearing it. And I'm like, do y'all hear that? They're like, yeah. I'm like, Ernie. And he comes out and he goes, what's up? I'm like, what the hell is that? And you hear this child giggling out there. And he's like, what is that? So he goes walking out. Now, we're all standing there just watching him because he's the lead investigator. I'm like, all right. So he goes behind the summer kitchen, and you can hear whatever it is giggling, running
Along the wood,
the woods between
the wood line,
right,
yeah,
where all the Indians are buried in that back field behind. Right. And it goes running along, and he walks with it, and it goes all the way around the stable where you live at, and then comes back right in front of us between the mansion and the summer kitchen, and you hear it run by in front of us. And it goes back to where it started again. And he comes walking up, he goes, I can't catch it. I'm like, it sounds like a child running and giggling.
Yeah, giggling, yeah.
And it was giggling with like giddy.
Uh-huh.
So at that point, I was hooked on the mansion.
Yeah. That's a little girl that's there. She's awesome.
Yeah. We've had a lot of experiences though with the little girl.
Yep. Anna.
Yeah. Because I remember when I was with my original team, and I guess this was about 2011 maybe. The lead investigator, his name was Dave, and my whole team went up there, and Dave brought his niece. And the sun was just starting to set, and we was in the what is the area called, Laura? Not the kitchen, but the very next room, like where we'll set up at.
Isn't that the dining room?
Well, it's like the old dining room.
Right.
Now,
Okay.
Where the fireplace.
So we're all.
That's where they did all the cooking.
Yeah, we're all in there setting up, and Dave's niece at the time, I guess she was about 12. Now we had no information about the mansion. We were there investigating it. You know what I mean? And Laura had let us in, but was coming back or whatever after we set up. So Dave's niece come up and she says, "Hey." She had a digital camera. My batteries died. Does anyone have a set of batteries? So I gave her the batteries, and she went outside to change the batteries. Well, a few minutes go by, and this kid comes running in. And I mean, she had a look on her face that I knew something happened. So, being a smart ass, I said, "What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost." Personally, I thought it was funny. Well, she told Dave, she said, "Who is that little girl out there? She looks like she needs help." So, the whole paranormal thing gets set aside. Mm-hmm. We're thinking a
Cop
kid
goes in,
wandered from the woods down by the tracks and was up there. So Dave and I, the other Dave, he was a retired police as well. We went out, and for a good 20 minutes, we searched everywhere, and I mean, we came up with nothing. So we get back to the mansion, and I said, I asked her about the little girl, what she looked like, and she gave me this complete description. So Laura comes in, she starts giving us the history of the mansion, and starts talking about the little girl. Laura described exactly what Dave's niece saw. And I mean, I was like, oh, heck yeah, this is going to be a good night. But that's not the only encounter we had with that little girl. I mean... personally, I never saw her. When I saw What I saw on that back stairwell that night when I was leading, before we were together, when I was leading that group you were with,
Yep.
I
He
saw a
almost
little.
fell into my arms.
I
when he
saw
that
a little boy. Yeah.
And I saw the same little boy a couple of months later.
Yeah. But it's you never know up there,
Yeah.
man. You know what I mean?
And
You never know.
even at the Prince's house, I mean, we've seen heard the lady when that door moved. Oh my God!
When that door moved, I mean,
if you guys look on our YouTube channel, we have the whole video up there, and you can hear it. And we had a crowd in the main front room on the second floor. They all heard it, and you heard us all stop dead as a doornail. And they all went, "Oh my God!" And you see me, I jumped up and ran down the hallway. And as I'm saying it, there's another guy there, Andrew. Hi, Andrew. I know you're watching. Said at the exact same time, "That door's moving. That door's moving." I'm like, Ernie, I'm seeing it with my own eye. The door was just, and it was going, and everyone heard it.
But what I like about Prince's house, man, we get a lot of disembodied voices.
Yes.
And that one night we were wrapping up. It was the first time we were there, and Haley joined us from Keystone State, and we were getting all our stuff together. We were getting ready to shut everything down and leave, and we heard something upstairs. All three of us heard it. So we started addressing it, and we heard a man's voice say bye.
Yep.
And all three of us heard this, man. It was amazing.
Yeah, at the bottom of the step. How about the
What
Haldeman?
about that night I knocked on the door? You guys were all upstairs. Remember?
Yeah,
I knocked on the door.
It was funny because
The ghost box.
the ghost box said
Like front door or something?
someone's at the door
Yeah,
or
something-
something
yeah.
along those lines, right?
Yeah.
And then no sooner the spirit box says about the front door, you hear, and everybody kind of like jumped and screamed, and I ran down, and it was Laura at the front door. But it was telling us that Laura was at the
I don't
front
know
door.
if you guys are hearing this.
That's
My
Rose.
dog is going nuts
Oh, yeah.
upstairs at something, and it sounds like somebody's walking around up there.
It does.
You keep going on.
She's
What?
back.
Down. No, stop. Rose, my dog's flipping out.
Yeah,
What?
she's going.
Down.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, she wants me to follow her. Look at her.
Go ahead. I got
All right,
it.
You got the show for a minute. Go. What?
Yeah, it sounded like that happened one other time though when we were live. But anyway, Laura, so everything's going good for you?
Yep, I'm gonna get back in the swing in July, so
Yeah,
everybody
it's.
pay attention to my Facebook page, Your Ghost Story.
I know it's hard because you got so many things that were scheduled and groups that were scheduled, and now everything like all at one time. You're supposed, you think you got to get everything back together and up and it's hard because you have so many people involved and events that were postponed and.
Yep. Well, in all honesty, I've enjoyed the downtime.
You know what? I did
It's
too.
down to get back to work.
My brain needed it. Like
Yeah.
the first like 4 weeks. I mean, I did get a lot of things done around the house, but my brain needed that decompression because all the things we were working on and dealing with people and setting things up, and it was just oh my gosh, I felt like I was gonna.
Going just about every other weekend. You guys had stuff.
Yeah.
booked.
Yeah,
Yep.
and reason being, and thank goodness that I work, 2 weekends a month, so that's the only reason it's every other. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I know.
Now,
But-
just so you know, I went upstairs. My dog stopped in my hallway and started barking at my hallway. Now, it's still light outside. You can see a shadow again.
yeah,
I don't know if I brought something home with me from one of my investigations. It hasn't been malicious or malevolent. It's opened a few cabinets. It's dropped a few cups, and you could hear it walking up here. My dog sees it and goes nuts.
yeah. I mean, I was just telling Laura when you were up there, we were sitting here that one, I think 2 episodes ago, we were live, and we could actually hear something walking.
And the dog was
And
right there in
Dave,
front of us.
Dave and I are the only ones here.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
The cat was down here and the dog was over there.
Yeah, and you could hear it walking back and
Yep.
forth above our head. See
You
now,
know,
go ahead.
Speaking from experience, Dave, your dog will
My-
eventually get used to it.
My computer just came on over.
All four monitors across
just came
from us
on.
just came on.
And the only way to do that is hit a button.
That's what I'm pointing at. Look,
You can't see it on the thing, but over this way, straight ahead.
he's got a monitor left and right, and then
that's my work computer.
2 of them, and it just. I've never seen the damn thing on. Now
And
it's
it just
off.
went off.
I've never seen.
What the fuck?
Watch your.
Sorry. I'm sorry. No, all right. My computer.
No, just say hello. Maybe we can hear it on the air.
Hey,
yeah.
If you're here, this is a recording device. Can you come over and say hello on this device?
Feel free to come join us.
If you guys hear anything, post in chat, please, because there's no other people in this house.
Look, I sit here and stare at these. What was that? Did you hear that? I did hear something. Sound like a gargle. Did you hear that?
I have my TV on in the background.
It may have been that. Okay.
I sit here every week and stare at these computers. I've never seen them on before.
Just
ever.
so you know, the way it's set is you have to wiggle the mouse or you have to touch one of the keys. It's in sleep mode right now. It will come on, but once it's out of sleep mode, it's set for 15 minutes to go back. It actually came on, then went off again.
Yeah.
In that short of time.
The whole thing shut down at one time.
That's not...
And it's not like... The weather's beautiful outside.
Yeah, it's gorgeous
out,
so it's not a storm or
It
anything.
ain't like a power surge.
Dave, think back. Do you remember when you first noticed it? Try to figure out where it followed you from.
It was back in somewhere around April of last year, because you know what's going on in my personal life.
Okay.
When things started to get really nasty. Now, I've had one psychic medium, love you, sweetheart, who told me it was the young man from my past that happened when I was involved with the police shooting.
Yeah.
I've had another young lady tell me it's my grandfather.
That's who I think it is.
I think it's my grandfather.
I think it's your grandfather.
Now, the thing is, my daughter, who...
That's Rose.
That's Rose, okay. My daughter has heard a whistle in the house, like somebody whistling.
I remember you telling me that.
And... so everybody else knows what's going on. I'm not going to tell you what the song was, but my grandmother and grandfather had a very specific song. And it's from the 1920s. And my daughter was thinking I was whistling it. And she's like, Dad, that's enough. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, stop whistling, it's annoying. And I'm like, honey, it's not me. And so she actually came out and watched me. She could still hear it. So she starts chasing it all around the house and couldn't catch it. And I said, stop. Stop and listen to the tune. I want you to whistle the tune. What are you hearing? And she whistled the tune back to me, and I knew immediately what that song was and why.
Did you hear the whistling or just her?
No, she heard the whistling. I heard nothing.
Wow.
Now, since then, when really bad times of trouble going on, I'll have cabinets like open and close. I actually had a plastic cup fall out of my cabinet that I always leave my cabinets closed. And I've walked in several times, they're open. I'm hearing sounds from my kitchen. My dogs and cats actually hear them. Ernie's actually spotted shadows on my steps.
I was just getting ready to say that because if you sit at Dave's dining room table and look in the living room, the steps go
downward.
Of course they go downward. How the hell up? The steps go down, but he had like a partition for the pets.
Right, so my cat can't go down there through the steps.
Yeah, and he's got the white walls. And I was sitting there and I heard something, and I didn't say nothing, but I just kind of sat and stared. And it wasn't on the actual steps, but I saw a shadow come up the wall. And and this is, it's weird because if you could see where we're at, there's no way of reflection because it's solid. There's no window.
Right, because there's a window right up here out of my view.
Right.
So if you actually look, it's that way, and then there's no one over there, and then that way is out, and then you got to go round and up.
Right.
So there's no way that there's any visual from outside.
Personally, I think it's your grandfather.
I think it's my grandfather too.
And
yep,
that kind of was cool though because
that was.
Like I said, man, I've been in this basement a million times and sitting at this table 25 times now.
Yep.
And I never even knew if I'm damn, because I even asked you one day, did they work? And you're like, yeah, it's my workstation.
If you walk over and wiggle the mouse, it'll come on.
And I just went over and actually bumped it when I was moving the chair that I'm sitting in now, and them things don't come on. No, that's kind of cool.
The only way to bring them on is wiggle the mouse.
Right.
They'll come on, but they'll stay on for 15 minutes.
They stayed on what, 30 seconds?
If that, they came on, all
and
four of them, and then shut off again.
Wow.
So, and I can tell you it's not on battery because see the
maybe because we're talking to Laura.
Maybe. Say hi, Laura.
I've been in the paranormal too long.
What's that?
You just gotta watch it, Dave, when things follow you home. I had a spirit follow me home when I first started, and it wasn't a good spirit. So I'm glad that whoever followed you home, or if it's your grandfather that he's being nice to you.
Well, I do a lot of
you're
praying
doing
here,
dishes.
and I clean the house regularly with white sage and actually salt and oil.
That's good. I never did that because I didn't know enough back then.
Yep.
So
I do that
I'm glad you
regularly,
do that.
probably every 30 days. I do ask for the blessing on the house. And
Yes.
also I have what's called cold stones that I put on my doorways.
I like Cold Stone ice cream.
I do too.
Isn't that good?
Chocolate.
So when I firstly moved into the house, I actually had my reverend come through, Reverend Linda, and bless the house before we even moved in.
That's the one thing I really like about you guys is you take all the protections.
Yes,
So,
definitely.
and you teach people about that too, which I think with all the TV shows, people get false ideas. So I'm glad that you teach people about that.
Yep. Always bless in, bless out. Ask for the Lord's guidance and prayer through the whole thing. Yes.
Definitely. So anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go and finish up the show. I gotta watch 90 Day Fiance. So.
All right, Miss Laura.
We will.
Congratulations to both of you for making it to 25 episodes, and I wish you 25 more.
Laura, we couldn't have done everything we've done so far without you.
We definitely love you,
You've been with
sweetie.
us through the
Thank
beginning,
you.
and we learned a lot from you. And you were actually, you were a big inspiration to us. You know what I mean?
Yes,
You really did,
absolutely.
and
That means a lot. Now you're gonna make me cry.
It
So.
was it was your kind words and your confidence in us, and seriously, man. I mean, I'm not just saying that to say it. It's true.
Miss
And
Laura, I'm giving you a ghost hug right now. You can't feel it, but you know it's there.
Thank you guys. I'm so proud of you, and good luck to you all.
I'll
Love you,
be in
sweetie.
touch. Thank you, Laura.
All right. Bye
Bye.
bye.
See you, honey.
We've had so much fun with Laura over the years.
Yeah, she is an awesome
But
awesome
Princess House, if you haven't been to Princess
woman.
House,
YorkGhostTours.com. Got to go.
that kind of was cool.
That was cool. Pardon me for the language. I'll censor that later, but that was kind of cool to watch.
If I like to see them come on again.
Yeah, that would. But see, it's not a power thing either. Because
It's not,
If
no.
you look, the monitor right there, you can see the orange dot on it, which means it's power.
But you know what? It was weird, and I don't know if it works this way, but they kind of just all at one time, and then all at one time went out.
The out part, it does happen because it's made to when at 15 minutes go down. But I haven't been on it all day today because I
Like I said, Dave, as many times as I've been here, I've never seen them on. If you remember, I guess about 2 months ago, I even asked you. I was like, "Do they work?"
yeah, that's what I.
And
where I
you're
work
like, "Yeah,
from.
that's where I work from." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I banged the table, moving the chair out.
If you went over and wiggled the mouse, you got to do a quick wiggle on it. Then it'll come on.
I've never seen them on.
Or if you hit the space bar, it'll come on. But it's set to go out timeout after 15 minutes. That's all. That way it can save the monitor.
I mean, who knows what it was, but it was just. It was coincidental because we were hearing something.
Yeah,
and you were talking about your house, and as soon as Laura started saying something about your house, they came on. It kind of all lined up.
I told you, there's something here. So
wow.
So one of these days we got to throw. And see, Ernie keeps going, I should throw a camera up and I should throw it about. Yeah. No, I don't investigate my house because if there's something here, that means this house is haunted and I'm leaving.
I got a good idea. Let's do this.
What you got?
And this will be fun. Why don't you set up a camera for 20 minutes? Just 20 minutes. Don't look at it. And we will sit and review it live on an episode. And that way, if anything comes up, everybody can see it with us. Do you have a way? All right, this is your part of Paranormal. Do you have a way, like say you record for 30 minutes, without us even reviewing it, once we go live on the episode, turn it on there?
Absolutely.
Why don't we do that? And then everybody can watch it the same time we do. And if somebody do you realize how many eyes we'd have and how many experienced people we would have?
How you doing, James?
How many experienced people we would have watching it?
James, just an FYI, yeah, you notice I'm changing the subject. James, we were actually discussing you earlier. We love you, and we were wishing you a happy birthday. I see you just came into the
What's
stream.
up, James?
So
I think we should do that.
I will leave it to the vote. We have a whole bunch of people in, If you guys say to set up a camera, I will set my DVR up and point it in my kitchen for 20 minutes.
And we won't look at it. And one of the upcoming episodes, we'll just turn it on live, and that's what you'll see. And everybody can review it in real time with us. And if you see something, you can call me or message it or however you want to do it, and we can do our thing right here live. I think that would be fun.
I could actually set up the DVR and live stream it onto my website if I really wanted to, but I ain't gonna do that. But my problem is, if I find something in my house that I don't want here, it gonna freak me to freak out.
But think how many eyeballs and how much experience will be watching it. I think we should do that, Dave. I think we should do that.
And by the way, James says, "What's up, you big sexies?"
We will. Hey, James, I can't wait to
The bash.
see you next month, man. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, excited. Definitely.
But wow.
I will consider that depending on the masses and the comments. I don't see any comments yet, so apparently nobody wants me to do it.
I think it would be fun.
Yeah, I might set up a camera.
I mean, think about it, man. We can all review it at the same exact time. Yeah. How many sets of experienced eyes would be on that? That would be funny.
Well, I tell you what. If I do that, I'll probably set one up overnight and let it run.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
But if you let it run, that's going to be 8 hours of video. So, don't know how that's going to...
I don't know, the next time you're running out to the store, just try to warm the house up a little bit before you go, throw the camera on, and 20 minutes later, turn it off, and forget about it till we do another episode. I think we should do that.
We may do that.
I think we should do that.
I'll think about it. I'll think about it.
That would be cool.
So what else you got going on? So there's a whole bunch of things that we got to reschedule. I'll do that.
Yeah, we're working on that. I'm just concentrating right now on the 20th, the Lookout House, and then, with the bash, I have new merchandise order, but of course it got delayed because of this. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed because I wanted this new merchandise for the bash.
Yeah, we have some surprises for you guys this year. So
at the bash,
yeah,
it's going to be fun, man. I'm looking forward to eating at the bar restaurant.
Oh yeah,
what we were talking
about
buffet. The buffet.
Giggity. Right.
Because Keith Bailey, we all had breakfast that morning. It was me and Keith and Mike and Dan Clay. I forget everybody. I don't know where you were.
Probably still asleep.
Still asleep. Something scared him, and he was scared to come out of his room.
No. In the morning,
he thought he saw a shadow in the hallway.
Oh no! Remember, I was out late with Cindy that night. The night before. Remember that?
Right, yeah.
So I went out to the covered bridge and hung out there for several hours and didn't get back till late.
Right.
So, but that was cool.
But I tell you what, man, that restaurant. Ask Andy. We spoke about it, and
Andy says the burger.
I'm telling you, man, that is the best bacon cheeseburger I've ever had.
Yeah, baby.
But I don't know, man. What are you thinking, David Seiler? Tell me, man. This show is about you.
Yeah. You notice I keep trying to divert it. I don't
this
like
is the man
me.
that never stops talking. Now the
but
spotlight.
I talk about everything else
now,
but me.
You can't see it, but I even turned that little spotlight right here to shine on him a little bit more. And now I can't get him to talk.
Yeah, well, I just talk about...
But then before I'm even out of his driveway going home, he'll be calling me.
Ernie Gurney, guess what I found? I do. Every 2 weeks before he actually leaves my driveway, I'm already on the call with him going, dude, here's the stats going on. Here's what's going on. Got enough. So...
I don't know, man. I just... I don't know, man. I think we are so blessed and so thankful with just the people that we know.
I'll call them.
I know. I mean, just the people that we know and we've met over the past few years since we started the solo project.
We should be giving them the applause.
I mean, that's what it's about. I mean, I unless you come, I'm sure like there's somebody watching that likes the paranormal, but maybe has never been to an event, any event, and until you go there and experience it,
Yep.
I mean, you just do not realize what you're involved in or what you're missing.
When you see something move on its own for the first time, when you see a piece of equipment go off for no valid reason, when you hear a voice, a disembodied voice on an EVP that shouldn't belong there, or you get an answer on an obelisk that fits right into the scheme,
Right.
it makes people just stop. One of my best stories I love, Haldeman Mansion. I had a guy coming in who was a professed skeptic, and we were doing one of our events there, and he said, the only reason why I'm coming to see this bull is because my wife is here and she likes this. I know your equipment's rigged. I know you're doing this. I know it's full of crap. Don't try to pull one on over me. I said, only thing I'll guarantee you is, as a paranormal investigator, by the end of the night, you will see something here that you can't explain. This place is so active. I'm going to come to you at the end of the night, and that's the only problem I'm going to make to you. I'm not going to show you a ghost, but I'll show you something that you can't explain. And if I don't do that by the end of the night, I'll give you money back for the event. So we go around, we go up into Jacob's room. This guy goes to my left. There's a window directly in front of me, and he's to the window to my left. And he has one of those Coleman lanterns that turn on the top. That's you. He sits it in my left window. I put all my equipment in the window in front of me. Now I know Jacob is there, and I say, Jacob, Mr. Dave, how you been? What you been up to, buddy? Love you, miss you. You know, I haven't seen you in a while. Oh, by the way, this guy right here doesn't believe you're really here. Can you turn on one of the lights for me? Which I fully expected him, because he likes playing with my flashlights, to turn one of my flashlights on. He went to the guy's Coleman. Click, click, turned it on. The guy went. And then I looked at him and I'm like, he picks up his lantern, turns it off, walks out the door, walks down the steps. You hear him, and you hear the main kitchen door slam. So I finished up with the group, about 15, 20 minutes, having some fun up there. Jacob's real active up there, love it. So I want to make sure the guy's okay, because you could tell he was scared. And this was this big burly man, loved it. Went out, found him by his truck, having a cigarette. Walked out to him, I said, first of all, are you okay? Oh, he goes, yeah. I said, what happened? He goes, you saw my light come on, right? I'm like, yeah. He goes, I can't explain that. I said, so you're saying that I actually fulfilled my promise to you, that you're going to see something you can't explain?
Right.
He's like, absolutely. So I said to him, okay, now that that's over with, now that you've seen the first spiritual activity, would you care to come back in and join us? He's like, nah, I'm okay. I'm like, well, why not? He goes, because that place is haunted.
The years we spent and the events we spent at the Haldeman, but I have many memories, but the one that always stands out, 2011, when I went there for the first time with the team, me and the other Dave were the only males. Okay, the rest was all female members. So we were taking a break, and everyone was in the dining room. We were just referencing where where we set up at, and I didn't know where Dave was. Now, for those of you that've been to Haldeman, the ballroom where we normally do our seminar, that's 2 rooms over from the room I'm speaking of.
Right, the dining room.
So, me, I'm antsy. So the team's taking a break, whatever. So I decide to go in there by myself.
Okay.
So I go into the room, and it was dark, so I couldn't see everything. But I heard like a man mumbling. Okay? So I run out of the room to go find Dave. So I get back to the dining room, and I'm like, where's Dave? Oh, he's across the way in the restroom. I said, okay, well, I'm thinking to myself, I just heard a man mumbling, so it's not Dave. I go back in, and just as I shut the door to make it completely dark, I heard something growl. It sounded like an animal. So I turned around, went back out again, but then, I found out about, the story, like, when the doctor would bring animals in and dissect them. So I mean,
Like the one we
that's
heard upstairs
that's
that time.
where my mind went.
Yeah.
But that's one of my most memorable, man, is when I heard that it was like an ominous mumbling. And I knew that the only other male there that night was Dave, and he was in the restroom. And, you know, when I went back in the second time, like I said, I heard this growling. And it just... But the funny thing was, you know, when you hear something like that, it's kind of in the air, or you can't pinpoint it. This growling sounded like it was floor level. You know what I mean? Like it was an actual animal. Because that's part of my wanting to get the hell out of there was... Maybe something came in out of the woods and is about to bite me. You know,
You don't know
what I mean?
what's around, right?
Yeah, but
you're out in the boonies out there.
yeah, it's. I mean, it's cool.
I think the most memorable moment that I had, or the most exciting moment, is when we were doing the preliminary sweep before anybody got
Yes, and the door.
and we went into so upstairs.
Complete daylight now.
Right, it's
4 o'clock.
Right, this is the one where we heard the thump and I damn near ran you over.
That was daylight.
Was it really?
That was absolute daylight. Because when I
remember
when I turned the FLIR camera on, I remember I adjusted it because it was so light.
This is because I didn't even look at the window. What happened was, let me go back a little bit. We had just finished. We went back to where the slave quarters were, or the help quarters. Came through the room, and then we were right by the stairwell where we saw that little boy at twice.
Now, even further back, what happened was we had a seminar / investigation that night.
Right.
So Dave and I are there hours early. We're going to get our things set up,
Got everything
go get
set.
something to eat, and come back.
Preliminaries.
Now, we had the key to the mansion. We went in the mansion, shut the door behind us, locked it, so nobody would come in. And we're on the second floor, and that's when we started doing the preliminary and setting cameras.
K2s, couple EVPs. He has a floor with him, and so we just came through it, and we're coming back, and it sounded like somebody went, boom, boom, boom. And just I turned and looked, literally this close to my face was this black mass.
Right.
I damn near crapped. Mm-hmm. And I turned, and I didn't even take time to think. Ernie was in front of me. I literally went over him to get by. It was that. And I was trying to say to him, Ernie, there's something right there. And what was coming out of my mouth was...
Yeah, he kind of like... I tell you now, I'm not saying this to be funny.
Yep.
And if any of you ever experienced this, not just with paranormal, but anything...
Sheer terror.
When you get that shock... terror and your body locks up like you're seizing. That's what happened to Dave.
And I couldn't talk. It was just I was like saying it just as close as Ernie is right now.
My first thought, Dave, when I heard those knocks, to me it sounded like the door we came in the kitchen, and I'm thinking, damn, somebody just kicked the door in. That's what it sounded like.
But it was from behind me up on the second
floor. And when you finally were able to say
there's something there.
You said someone. You said there's someone there. I personally thought someone might have come up the back steps and you saw a person because, like I said, I thought somebody kicked the back door.
Well,
and then I put my FLIR camera on it.
Right.
And in the threshold of the door, right where
you could see the outline of
you could see this black. It was
just forming like this.
Very tall. Yeah, I saw the head and the shoulders went out real far.
Yep.
And then come down. And I was watching. I said, Dave, look, it's forming.
Yep. And then it just kind of pulls back in.
And when we went down into the kitchen where we entered the mansion, the door was still locked.
Yep.
So, but when you said there's someone there, I thought an actual person came in.
It scared me. I mean, literally, because it was like when I turned, it was right here.
I had that same thing happen to me in Gettysburg. Ruby and I was up there one night, and she took her friends with us. And I was sitting there screwing around with my camera, and I'm thinking that Ruby's standing in front of me. So as I start to look, I was messing with my camera or something. I thought Ruby was in front of me because I could feel something in front of me. And then all of a sudden, over to my right, I heard Ruby talking. So as I start to go like this to look up to see who's in front of me, all I seen was my eyes started to scan up. I seen like a frilly like kind of like lace dress. I made it to about here with my eyes, and it like lunged at me. And I don't remember, and somebody told me, I forget which one of our guests said it was like that fear thing that made me forget.
Yep.
I don't remember. All I know is when I came to my senses, I was sitting in my car. So according to Ruby, I hit the ground, kind of like my body was locked up, and then I jumped up and walked to the car. And I swear I do not remember going to my car. That's how, like, and I mean, I wasn't scared like something was going to hurt me, but when you think like, hey, that's Ernie in front of me, and you're talking to me or whatever, and then you hear me behind you, and you're like, oh crap, somebody's in front, and you look up and see somebody. But the thing that scared me was it was just the period dress, and then it went like this and lunged at me, and I kind of like, I don't know what the hell happened, man. But they said I hit the ground like somebody kicked my feet.
First
not saying, not saying
it
it happened, but it was like they said it looked like somebody kicked my feet out from under me because I hit the ground.
You can't
so
fast enough.
Yeah, yeah. But that panic stricken, man, that's insane.
It is. All right, guys. Well, it has been our hour of allotted time, so I know that they're going to kick us to the curb, so we're going to have to say, I'm glad we've had this time. Oh, I'm not doing Carol Burnett.
But if you're interested in June 20th at the Lookout House with us and Lori Johnson and Dave Haney and the KSPS crew, find Pam, get your tickets. It's going to be a lot of fun. Dave, before we go, I just want to thank you for everything you've done for PI, for all the hard work. And not just with us. I mean, Dave has helped so many people with technical things and shows and just anything you can think of, man. Dave, he's just one of them guys that you can call him in the middle of the night and say, hey, man, I'm having this issue. And he helps you. You know what I mean? And I'm so honored, so thankful, and so privileged.
Thank you, brother.
You know, to...
well, it's been a pleasure being with you.
Have him as a partner.
Last 3 years, man.
I can honestly say we're coming up on 3 years next month, and I think, you know, taking this show on the road, the two of us, I don't mean it disrespectfully, but I think it was the best thing we've ever did.
Best adventure that I've ever had.
The best part of it is everyone that we're affiliated with and know and get to hang out with and talk to and investigate and do show. It's just amazing. We love you guys. And I could sit here till tomorrow telling you just how fortunate and thankful and blessed we are for everybody. I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
It's you that support us,
guys. There's no family like the Paranormal family, and we will see you all next. We're like 4 or 5 weeks away from the bash.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, thank you. I hope you had fun. I know we didn't have a celebrity call in or chat, but I had to give props and thanks to the man that makes this happen. So
surprise! I didn't know who the guest was. Me. Damn it.
We love you guys. Thank you. See you.
Peace.
2
love
weeks.
you guys.
You've been listening to Step into the Paranormal with Ernie Atwell and David Seiler. Thank you for listening, and listen in next week for another topic and more great guests, right here on WLFE DB Radio Network.